On this episode of YaEat, we're going to be making creamy broccoli and cheddar soup in under 30 minutes. If you've ever had this soup at Panera Bread or another restaurant and enjoyed it, then you're not going to want to miss this recipe.
Spend some time with your family and watch this recipe, and make sure you watch to the end.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of YaEat, and our first episode in 2022. As usual, I'm really excited to have you here, and I appreciate all your support. Today, we're going to kick off the month and make soup all month long. Soup it is! Soup it is! I'm going to start it off with a creamy broccoli and cheddar soup, similar to Panera Bread, only we're going to be using fresh ingredients, and it's going to taste awesome. It's also going to be really quick, really easy, and the dimension is going to taste really delicious. So I'm super excited, and I'm ready to make this soup. Are you ready? Here we go.
I didn't get any bread.
Just forget it, let it go.
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3! What? No soup for you!
Print all our recipes on YaEat.tv. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to chop up some onion. Add some butter, about a cup of onion. So I have this carrot here that I bought that's already shredded or grated. It's not that expensive and it saves a lot of time, but what you can do, you can just get maybe one large carrot or 2 medium carrots, and just grate them with a cheese grater. So I'm just going to add that in with the onion. I'm going to add some black pepper, some salt, maybe like a teaspoon of each, but you can always go back and adjust the seasoning later. You don't want to over salt it now. So I put 4 ounces of butter or 1 stick of salted butter. I know it seems like a lot of butter, but it's really good. About a teaspoon of paprika. See how it changes the color. It's a nice orangey reddish color. I'm going to saute these onions and carrots down a little bit, maybe about 3 to 4 minutes, so they get a little translucent, a little soft. And then we're going to add some flour. Now we added 4 ounces of butter, so now we're going to add 4 ounces of flour. Okay, now we're going to add our chicken stock. All you need to do to qualify is to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like at least one of our videos. And as our YouTube channel grows, so will our prizes. Don't forget to click the bell and spread the word. I'm going to lower the temperature a little bit. We'll try to cook that flour taste out. We're adding a 2nd quart of chicken stock. Okay, while that's heating up, we just got to cut our broccoli up a little bit. You can use this if you remove the outside skin and then chop it up finely. That's a really good part, but I'm not going to use it today. We're going to skip that part. We want to make this soup quick, under 30 minutes. You definitely can use this part though. Just cut it up fine. We're going to save a couple of these small florets just to throw on top at the end. So I'm just going to put them on the side. And these other ones I'm just going to cut down a little smaller. You definitely want to remove the leafy part of the broccoli. We'll let this come back up to a boil. We'll see how thick it is. And then I have a slurry here mixed with some of the chicken stock and also some flour that we can add to the thickness that we like. I also would like to let you know that I'm using chicken stock today, but if you want to keep this vegetarian, you can use vegetable stock. If you're cutting up the broccoli, you want some bigger pieces and some smaller pieces. Just add the broccoli right in there. Okay, we're just going to cook this on a simmer for about 10 minutes until the broccoli gets cooked a little bit. I'm going to add some more stock in here as well. And I don't always cook by recipes. I create the recipes for you so you can follow along. I like to just cook, add the ingredients, and taste as I go. You can follow the recipe that I created for you. And you would need to make some adjustments to make it your own. Whether you like the soup thicker or thinner. So I'm going to add some more chicken stock to this. I need some space because I'm going to be adding some heavy cream. But one thing I need to do is going to add a little bit of the slurry in here because I want to thicken this up a little more. So I'm going to add that slurry in there. And that's going to thicken this up a little more. I would like it a little bit thicker. Now, anytime you add flour, you're going to need to cook it for at least 10 to 15 minutes. That should be good. That'll thicken up nice, and if we need to, we can add more stock. I forgot to add the garlic. What I do is I just peel 2 cloves of garlic, I'm going to saute them, and I'm just going to add them to the soup. So, just goes to show you, even if you miss a step, you can go back and correct it. Okay, so I'm going to grate some sharp cheddar cheese, and I recommend not buying the pre-grated cheese because it has different fillers and waxes on it, and it doesn't melt that well. I know that I got pre-grated carrots. The carrots are pretty much the same whether you grate them yourself or not, but there's a big difference when it comes to cheese, whether that's cheddar or mozzarella or whatever kind of cheese you're buying pre-shredded. Keep an eye on that garlic. All right, that's good. I'm going to keep putting the cheese in until I like the taste of the soup. This is a 1.5 pound block. I assume we're going to use about a pound of it. This is what takes the longest, is grating the cheese, but it's worth it. I'm going to add some heavy cream in now, and then we'll add the cheese. It's going to turn off the heat and add the cheese in. Broccoli, you can always give it a taste, test this, see if it cuts in half or see how firm it is. You don't want to overcook it. We want to temper this cream in, so we're going to pour it in slowly. We want to make sure that it doesn't break, so a little bit at a time. So you get a nice creamy color. Now some people use half and half, some people just use milk. If you want it to be really rich, it's going to be with the heavy cream. So I'm going to add the heavy cream now, and then I'm going to add the cheese, and if I need to, if it's too rich, I can just add some milk. Probably about a cup and a half of cream. Again, I like to add it until I get the color that I like. Now we're going to add in our cheese, and probably going to need more than this, but we'll see. Now, even with the stove off, this cheese will melt because the soup is hot. But we don't want it to stick with all the flame coming up from the bottom of the pan. We don't want the cheese to stick to and burn to the pan. Definitely need more cheese and some salt. When you add the cream in, there's no salt in the cream. And because we specialize in cooking mostly Italian food, we're going to add some Pecorino Romano cheese to this. So we're adding a 1/2 cup of grated Pecorino Romano cheese. This will definitely boost the flavor and the salt content. that's about a pound of cheese now. Soup's got a nice thick consistency to it. Add a little more black pepper. I'm gonna add more paprika. You can also try this with some smoked paprika. And I like to make extra and freeze it. A little heat and eat. Don't even have to plan ahead. If you do plan ahead, you can take it out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator overnight, or you can take it out of the freezer and put it on your countertop for a couple hours. We are good to go. We are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of the shredded carrot. Then the broccoli that we saved, the fresh florets that we saved. And then we're just going to grate a little bit of the cheese on top. Creamy broccoli and cheddar soup. You eat? You want to eat? Make this recipe. It's delicious. Well, that wraps up this soup recipe of creamy broccoli and cheddar soup. So this is kind of a copycat but better version of Panera creamy broccoli soup. We're going to give it a taste test right now. The soup is so good. You can see it didn't take that long, 30 minutes. You know that my daughter's going to love the soup. I said it was easy and quick, and believe me, it is delicious. Well, that wraps up this week's soup recipe. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did eating it, and I really did enjoy eating it. We will be back again with another episode. We'll be doing another soup episode next week, so join us again. I really appreciate you being here, so thank you so much, and you have a great week, and we'll see you next week, okay?
Here's an offer you shouldn't refuse. Subscribe to this channel.